Well, take a wild guess. Come on, you can do it without growing a nose. I really hate everyone, so, you know.
Hello, you two. This is rather lovely, and what a beautiful film. Are you chuffed to bits that you're both a part of this?
Well, take a wild guess. How about you?
I am, yeah, it's incredible for me because it's my first main production and I haven't been the main character ever. So everything in the making has been incredible for me.
What do you mean you haven't been the main character? Have you always been the side guy, or what's been happening?
Well, in the movies I've done, I've been in a few. I've always been a small part, so hearing that I got the role for this was like mind-blowing because I've never been like in a big thing where I have loads of lines to learn and songs to sing.
Oh, and how do you feel about sitting next to this guy?
It's pretty incredible. I mean, I love his character, and I was just saying how the songs that Christoph sings, it's so catchy, it's so good, and it's a joy to be in the movie with him.
We didn't really work together, you know. The way this works is, you know, you work parallel to each other, sort of at the same time, but, you know, it's a very, very complicated and complex process to put an animation movie together, and probably more so if it's a stop-motion animation.
Yeah, and 1,000 days, I think, it took to take.
Yeah, well,
to make.
he did 1001, and
Yeah.
Do you have any words for Gregory and his performance in this?
I look. First of all, that's a nasty question to ask because you don't judge your friends and colleagues. And second, it's very interesting to put the image and the personality of the voice together, because the image is really just a carved character, so to say, but the life comes with the voice, just in real life too. You know,
Yeah.
if we make faces, that's just ridiculous. But if the voice matches it, so the way they do it, they take a lot of the image from filming the recording of the voice. So that's how you end up lending your personality to a puppet in the end.
Oh, wow. And the singing you mentioned. Do we get to see more musicals from you now, perhaps?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Can we see you on the West End here in London?
I don't think so.
Why is Pinocchio so special, do you think? And why do we want to tell this story about him again?
I love the life of him. I think that although it has a dark remake, I think Pinocchio is such a loud, noisy and energetic soul. It's just a joy to watch the movie because of how happy he is. He's always got a smile on his face. You hardly ever see the frown upside down.
I love that. Have you thought about fibbing now? Because you know what happens. Has it taught you a lesson?
It has taught me a lesson. I don't want my nose to grow.
Come on, you can do it without growing a nose.
Don't say that. In regards to being the bad man again, when are you going to do you fancy doing something a bit nicer one day soon?
No, why would I really hate everyone, so, you know.
In regards to what we said earlier about what he thought about you, what do you think about Christoph and the way that, you know, the fact that he's here today, all these things he's done? Have you watched him in anything before?
Not that I can recall of, but I could probably see if I looked at what movies he's been in, I'd probably recognise it.
I reckon you would.
Yeah.
He was very, very good in this as well. Did you get to a stage where you were quite frightened about what your character was going through? When you went home, were you able to switch off easily?
Obviously, Count Volpe, which is who Christoph plays, he's a very sinister, very mean. He's very manipulative. He completely manipulates Pinocchio because he isn't very clever. He's just been born, and he manipulates him so much that Pinocchio does things that he thinks is right, but it's really, really wrong.
Okay.
Says who?
And in regards to the way this is made, why do you think it's important that it's made like this? Because I guess we've got such CGI these days and so many different technologies. Why are we doing this?
You just said it, you know. Everything looks alike because everything is streamlined after one idea. And that idea is pursued by one very powerful company that kind of put its imprint on everything else. So everybody tries to emulate and copy, and but that goes further than just the visual or the aesthetic. It is, like when the story, the way the story is being told, who the story is being aimed at. To first of all, to do a stop motion animation is already a different endeavor altogether, and it doesn't look like what you know and what you expect, because they all look alike. It looks profoundly different. And the approach is, as you said, much darker, much more serious. I'm not even sure whether it's necessarily a children's movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. As what Christoph was saying, I love how it would be so simple just to put it on a computer and do the CGI. It would probably take 6 months, a year, but this has taken 3 years of taking a photo, moving it a millimeter, taking another photo. And I think the pureness of that adds to the whole character of Pinocchio and everyone else. It adds like more of a naturality to the movie.
Love that. Bring on the Oscars, I say.